Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for all the support on the channel recently. It really does mean a lot. Chelsea versus Norwich preview plus predicted XI, and this is going to be a good video. We're going to be talking about Stuart Webber's recent interview that he's come out and done. Please, if you do enjoy, hit the like button. Let's try and aim for 50 likes on this video, and hit the subscribe button if you are new. Yeah, let's get straight into it. Stuart Webber's interview has come out. Did I think about 20-minute interview with different sources. A really good interview, really honest interview, and an interview which holds a lot of accountability. And as I said, there's a lot of honesty, and you don't get that with a lot of football clubs. If you want me to do a full video reacting to everything Stuart Webber says in the interview, or the main points, then I will do. Let me know in the comment section. But the gist of Stuart Webber's interview is he basically blames himself. Of course, Stuart Webber is head of football strategy and kind of oversees the whole Norwich City Football Club, and he blames himself entirely for Norwich City's failure this season, which is, you know, it shows leadership, it shows accountability, and it most importantly shows honesty, which, as I've said, you don't get that at a lot of football clubs. Is Daniel Farke leaving? Stuart Webber came out and said he backs Daniel Farke 100%, and he wants him to stay at Norwich City. And he expects him to stay at Norwich City as well. So you can expect to see Daniel Farke in the dugout next season, and I'm happy with that. And one of the best lines from this interview, absolutely fascinating. You know, I've said how Norwich City are a small fish in a big pond, and Stuart's come out and been even more frank about it and said he has no blame attached. I have no blame attached to Daniel. We have allowed him to go to war without a gun. Very stark, very honest there. Gone to war without a gun, and I kind of agree. Clearly, we haven't had the tools this season, and ultimately, Stuart Webber puts blame on himself. Do I agree with that mostly? Yeah. Obviously, he's trying to shift any kind of blame and any negativity towards Daniel, which is, you know, a good thing. It relieves the pressure on him. And for me, of course, Daniel Farke deserves a chance, in my opinion. I know a few people want him kind of perhaps to leave and think maybe his time's up, but for me, I definitely don't think he deserves that. I think Daniel's a fantastic manager, one of our most successful managers in our recent history. And yeah, I find it a bit, although Daniel Farke has made a lot of mistakes, I think Daniel Farke deserves another opportunity. And I really like the guy. He's such a likeable guy. He's done fantastic things in the long term in terms of promoting youth. And Daniel Farke deserves 100% an opportunity. Look, is everything great with Daniel? No, and Daniel, I do think there has to be a slight bit of blame to Daniel. Ever so slightly. If you look at how well we was playing earlier on in the season, we was playing this attacking great football against the likes of Liverpool, against the likes of Chelsea, and really, you know, playing some good football, sticking to our philosophy. But you know, since lockdown, we have been really poor, and a lot of the players don't look like they want to fight for Daniel, and clearly Farke's tactics have been very poor. So although Farke definitely does deserve an opportunity, we're not playing the same way as we did earlier on in the season, and Daniel Farke, you know, probably needs a few more players maybe next season to try and re-energize the squad again. Because yeah, if you think we're going to be scoring lots of goals like we did in the Championship last season, by evidence of what we've seen in 2020 with Norwich City and Daniel Farke since lockdown, I don't think that's going to happen. But Daniel Farke deserves an opportunity, and I'm fully behind him. And Stuart Webber as well has put all the blame on himself, and of course Stuart Webber does have to take a lot of it. The recruitment this season has been terrible. Dude has gone back on loan, back to Germany now, and that just sums up how bad our recruitment has been. All the loan signings have now gone back to their parent clubs. You know, Stuart Webber puts all the blame on himself, and look, despite the blame which has to be attributed to Stuart, I still want him to stay at the club for many seasons. As I said, he's so honest, so transparent, and holds accountability, and that's what I love about Stuart Webber. He's very honest, and he's a real leader as well. And yeah, of course, it's been terrible recruitment, and of course we don't have the money under Delia and the lack of investment so far really to compete and be an established Premier League club. But Stuart in the long term has saved the club, and also Stuart made a great point how football doesn't just end in the season. Football's, you know, indefinite. It always continues season after season. And Stuart's saying how, you know, we've left Norwich City in a better place in terms of developing Colney, and obviously the long-term finances as well, which I fully agree with. You look at when we went down to the Championship a few years ago, we was really in a tough position with Jez Moxey, and Stuart Webber's come in and saved the long-term future of the club financially, which is good. But of course, football's played on the field, and let's hope Norwich City can get back to winning ways, and hopefully fans can start to celebrate, and we can all be doing our Farke waves again. But let's turn our attention to Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea have done really well this season with Frank Lampard. I'm a big fan of Frank Lampard, obviously England legend. Is he an England legend? He's certainly a Chelsea legend. He's done well with England, but he's done a great job of being Chelsea manager. I look at Chelsea, they play some good football, and what I like about Frank Lampard, similarly to Daniel Farke, is they like to promote youth. Reece James has looked a real good player. Mason Mount's been the big one who's, turned in and put some really good performances. And Chelsea look like an exciting outfit. Tammy Abraham as well, scoring lots of goals. And recently on the wing, you feel like Chelsea's key men are going to be Willian and Christian Pulisic, Brazilian and American internationals who are contributing with goals. So Chelsea have got a lot of talent, and of course it's going to be a very difficult job for Norwich City to hold them off. Defensively, I still feel like there's an area of weakness there. Kurt Zouma, Kurt Zouma got relegated with Stoke, and I still think Chelsea can do better with him. But ultimately, this is a very good Chelsea squad, and it's going to be very tough to beat. Turning our attention to Norwich, it's been pretty poor, hasn't it? Whatever happened, look, a big fan, as I said, with Daniel Farke, but clearly we're not playing how we did earlier on in the season, and something's not quite right within the dressing room, and it's going to be really interesting to see if players do leave and perhaps can reveal what is going on. But look, the worst thing with any club is if you can't defend properly and you can't score properly. And Norwich have got both at the same time, and it doesn't really make for great reading, does it, guys? Last season, even in the Championship, we weren't great defensively, but we could outscore teams, and that was exciting. But to have a lack of recruitment in centre back areas and all defensive areas is a bit unforgivable, really, in terms of the short term. Although, as I said earlier in the video, Stuart Webber is definitely right for the long-term future of the club, just in my opinion. I'd love to hear what you think down below. But yeah, defensive issues have been horrible. Norwich City haven't been able to defend set pieces under Daniel Farke properly for 3 years, really, and that was evident with West Ham's first goal and West Ham's second goal as well, where Antonio leaps past Ben Godfrey and Tim Closer despite being 4 or 5 inches shorter than him. Defensive issues, Norwich City have got plenty of them, but if we can defend properly as a team, improve upon set pieces, that could be good in the long term. And going forward as well, under Daniel Farke, he is used to this brilliant football in the Championship, and even at the start of the Premier League, we were scoring goals, but Norwich City just can't score goals. And I think Norwich City have only scored 7 away goals all season. That is absolutely terrible. And I think the record for the least amount of goals away from home is 8. And Norwich City have got Chelsea away and Manchester City away to come. So Norwich City might have an unwanted record there. But yeah, as long as we can improve defensively and show a bit of pride, that's all you want from now to the end of the season. In terms of the predicted XI, I'd like to see Tim Krul in goal, obviously, without a doubt Norwich's player of the season. Back four kind of has to remain the same with Jamal Lewis, Ben Godfrey, Tim Closer and Max Aarons. It's been a tough season for those youngsters, but they'll definitely learn from it, you'd hope. And obviously their price tags as well could mean that if they do leave, Norwich City could get a handsome fee for them and then reinvest it into the squad. 2 central defensive midfielders for me, Alex Tettey and Mario Rancic. Alex Tettey's been an absolute warrior in there, 34 years old, still playing every single game, 3 games a week. Alex Tettey shouldn't be doing that, but he's a real warrior and a great character at Norwich City Football Club. Mario Rancic alongside him. Look, Mario, I really thought Mario would improve the team. He hasn't been able to do that. I think you need a string of games to be able to do that, but yeah, Mario Rancic hasn't quite clicked, but you still want to see him get given more opportunities because we know what he can do on the ball. 3 attacking midfielders for me, Cantwell on the left. He hasn't started the last 2 games for injury. He deserves an opportunity to start. On the right, Emi Buendia, and as you can see, I put Kenny McLean in Cam. For me, I think we need to be a bit more defensively solid, and I feel like the likes of Tettey, Rancic and Kenny McLean all together can mean Norwich City are more defensively solid, particularly if you're in the middle of the pitch. Kenny McLean's better performances for me has been when he's been in that Cam role. I look at Everton away where he won a ridiculous amount of aerial duels and helped score the first goal, and Arsenal at home as well. I remember Kenny McLean having a really good game there as well. So I feel like Kenny McLean's, it's tough to know what his best position is, but I feel like at number 10 it probably, in the Premier League, he's probably shown it to be quite a good job. And when you're coming up against tough teams away from home, having an extra body in there like Kenny McLean in that number 10 role can help us defensively. And yeah, I'd like to see Kenny get given an opportunity. He's done okay this season, hasn't he? And up front, Adam Ida. Pukki's had a run of games, and Pukki needs a break now, and hopefully he can go again next season. Josip Dermich has had a run of games, and the less said about his kind of performances for Norwich City, the better. Give Adam Ida the chance to start up front against Chelsea, and let's see what he can do. That'd be my team in terms of score predictions. I mean, can Norwich shock Chelsea? I think if Norwich City were to get to the scoreline below 3-0, that could be considered a shock. You just haven't seen enough of Norwich City to suggest we're going to win a game or even score, many goals in a game. So I'm going to say Chelsea 2, Norwich City 0. Thank you for watching the video. Love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section, and thank you for all the support. Fascinating times ahead with Norwich City, and yeah, you've got to be positive about it, and you've got to act quickly in the summer transfer window for Norwich City to be a success. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you later.